Yesu yagamba nti ekkubo erigenda mu funda tosuubira nti buli omu yenna agenda kulibeeramu. Abamu bajja kudroppinga off along the way, abalala bajja kulemererwa, abalala balina omululu n'omulugube gujja kubatwala gubajje ku mulama gwe tuliko. So tosuubira nti abantu bonna bajja kusigala ku kintu kyekimu, era bannayuganda gyabakubiriza n'okubazaamu amaanyi. Bwe bw'olaba oli omukulembeze ng'agenze takumalamu amaanyi, manya nti buli struggle yonna gye tubeeramu waliwo abo abagenda kukivaako, abagenda kukoowa, abalala baali tebali meant for that struggle, naye abalemerako be bamalako.
Akulira akakiiko k'ebyokulonda bya Bakama akaliro kamuyitiriddeko n'avaayo ne yeegaana ebigambo bye. Abiridde agambye mbu yeetavangayo n'agamba nti akakiiko k'ebyokulonda tekayina mudidi guteeka nalukoola ku kyapa kya gavumenti olwalyoka alayire. Jenerali Yoweri Kaguta tibahabulwa ebyamulwanya byennyini ate byali mu kuddamu. Mu vidiyo eno ogenda kubaako byotegeera ebibadde bijja bikolwa bannakyemalira ab'enjawulo okwetooloola olukalu lwa Africa. Obinnyonnyoke na lwaki Abafirika bangi bawaŋŋanguka ne bagenda mu mawanga g'Abakyeruppe okunoonya ekigulira magali ddiba, newankubadde ng'ate amawanga g'Abakyeruppe gaddira ebyobugagga eby'omuttaka ne gabijja wano ku lukalu lwa Africa ne gabitwala ewaabwe. Byonna mbiina mu bujjuvu ojja kubeera ng'obitegeera. Africa ngagga nnyo, naye lwaki Africa tekulaakulana? Ku lwa leadership gye tuyina mu ggwanga oba mu mawanga gaffe agali ku lukalu lwa Africa. Buli akutte ku ntebe tayagala kuvaawo. N'abo abalinga abavuddewo ebbanga ettono lye bamalawo, majority ku bo bafuba kulaba nti bakenenula eggwanga lye baba bakulembera, kubanga majority baliryamu mu mbeera eya ttaamu egenda. Nja kutandika n'okutumirako yonna gy'ompulirira nti obala okubeera nga weekuumidde ku mukutu ogabaye bala akumpeeredde obulamu olwaleero ne bukya ng'oli omu ku abo abatemye obukofu abafiiriddwa abantu bammwe. Omukama Katonda abatuwera eky'ommula eky'emirembe. Abalina abalwadde n'abatendewaliddwa yeeyongera okubagumya olunaku lw'enkya lubeere yaddeko. Ebintu tebitambudde bulungi eri akakiiko k'ebyokulonda oluvannyuma lw'ebigambo ebyafuluma ku mikutu emigatta abantu nga biraga nti omukulu akulira akakiiko k'ebyokulonda amanyikiddwa nga Bakama Mujenyi yali avuddeyo n'agamba nti okuteeka nalukoola ku gazeti ya gavumenti baali beetaaga nupu okubaako keekwatayo ekabawe olwo balyoke bamuteekeko, kubanga mbu akakiiko k'ebyokulonda kaali tekayina mudidi ogwo bwakubeera nti ate gufunibwa okuteeka nalukoola ku kyapa kya gavumenti. Ate omukulu amanyikiddwa nga Julius Mukyunguzi avuddeyo olunaku olwaleero n'agamba nti ebigambo bino bya bulimba era akakiiko k'ebyokulonda tekabimanyiiko. N'agamba nti ebigambo bino mubyegaane mubyekkokkole kubanga bikyamu. Akaliro mwakawulidde ebigambo byayogerwa bya Bakama. Kati oluvannyuma lw'omuliro okweyongerayo nga tubabanja tubagamba trillion ennamba gye mwaweebwa mu mwaka guno nga guggwako guli ogwedde ogwa 2024 yalagawa. Obuwumbi obukunukira okuyingira olunaana Parliament bwe yakolako bwe yateekako approve obuweebwa akakiiko k'ebyokulonda mu bwali bwakuteekateeka kalulu ka 2026 bwonna bwalagawa. Obukadde abaali ku nomination paper bwe baawaayo, actually buli omu yawaayo 33 million, bwakola mirimu ki era bwalagawa. Akaliro mukawulidde kyobola Abannayuganda bagamba nnyo nti buli gye tukoma okwogera n'okwerwanako ebintu bigenda birongooka bigenda bitereera, naye buli we twetuulako tuwa omwaganya abantu bano okutufutubbalako. The moment we keep quiet tuwa omwaganya abantu bano tufutubbalako. Gye tukoma okubeera ne fear mu mitima gyaffe, gye tukoma okubongera amaanyi. Kakati owulidde bavuddeyo ne babbaawo engatu pressure. Katulinda ekintu eki kulangirira nti nalukoola agenda kubeera ng'alayira mu Parliament. Kye twagala kyokka tetwagala birala. Tetubabanja bingi, tubanja Victoria yaffe ebeere ng'eri prevailed. Nalukoola agende mu Parliament y'eggwanga akiikirira abantu ba Kawempe North. Kyekyo kyokka tewali kirala. Bwe muba nga mulina ekirala mwe kimwe mulugunyaako kinajja oluvannyuma b'emulugunya kalulu bagende mu kooti. They should Uganda appeal. Ekyo kiwedde mbaggyeko omukono. Butereevu ebimu ku bintu ebyalwanya Mwami Yoweri Kaguta tibahabulwa. Yagamba munno mwe mwali ebbola ly'emirimu, mwe mwali obulamu obubi Bannayuganda mwe baawangaaliramu, mwe mwali ekiwamba abantu, Panda Gali by then mwe mwali ettemu eryali liyitiridde, mwe mwali abantu okufa naddala abaana abato. Ebyo byonna bye byamulwanya mbu mu mwaka ogwa 1981 paka 1986. Ekituufu kiri nti byonna byagamba ebyamulwanya tulabanga bye bikomyewo. Nina akatambi kengendo gabanako naawe kali mu lulimi Lunyanyimbe era kakolebwa muganda affe mu Nigeria. Nabagamba nti bwe luba lutalo, bwe tuba nga tuli mu struggle eno, buli muntu yenna ng'obubaka bwe bugatta ettoffaali ku lugendo lwe tuliko ngenda kububawa. Kabeere nga we Uganda, kabeere nga bweru we Uganda, nja kubawa obubaka bwe. Naddala akegerikeri nti leero weekend abantu bangi bali waka bagwana ofuna information ngeno bagenda otandika Monday ng'obwongo bwabwe bubikufu, ng'obwongo buli fresh. Kakati nja kubatwalirawo mu katambi kano munganye nkabawe. Program ene wagiddwa Sheikh Ashraf omulombi w'eddwa, munonyeko ku namba ye gwe 9 embeera muyite etali nnungi akulombera eddwembere ejja kubeera nga tefuuka malidaadi. Bobi Wine Robert ayongedde okuteeka embeera ku gavumenti ya Uganda wano n'ebweru waayo. Bino byonna bye mulaba ebiri mu kukolebwa by'ebyokwerinda, bye mulaba bye batuula obufofofu entebe, bubeera obubonero gwe Munnayuganda obukulaga nti okukuta kweyongedde, ekikulaga nti nno akaliro ke tutaddewo keeko bakawulira. Kati n'olwekyo gwe abadde atendewaliddwa abadde anafuye, njagala kukuwa maanyi nkugambe nti wano we tuli enkoko twagimaanya dda, tugenda gijjako bujja bulago tugikanyuge mu fulampeni eriibwe 226 ekintu kibe nga kitambula malidaadi, kubanga byonna bikoleddwa bye baali bateekeddwa okukola, byonna bikoleddwa ne biggwayo. Kati taani yaffe naffe kubaako kye tukola okwenunula. Nannyini mufu yakwata ewawunya. Nabagamba nti amawanga g'Ebulaya ne bwe ganaatukolera ki nga ffe tetwebeereddeemu nga bannayuganda tewali kijja kukyuka. Tulina okwekwatira ewawunya embeera mu ggwanga etereere. Bwe tunaalinda bali okutulwanirira then tuli ku batoni nkyamu. Kati tandika leero, tolinda lwankya, buli omu mu effort ye, abakomentinga, abasharinga, yeeyo effort naawe gy'oteeka ku lutabaalo. Ffenna tetugenda mu battlefield. Waliwo abajja okulwanira ku mikutu emigatta abantu, eriyo abajja otwala ebibaluwa ku bitebe eby'enjawulo, eriyo abajja okugula data, eriyo abajja okusharinga information, eriyo abajja okuwabula. Buli omu akola omulimu gwe. Eriyo n'abajja otambula door to door, eriyo n'abajja okujoyininga ttiimu eya trailo, eriyo n'abajja okubeera nga bo omulimu gwabwe omutongole gwa kubunyanjiri buli wamu ku byalo. Buli omu ajja kukola omulimu gwe. Buli muntu yenna ng'ali mu lutabaalo luno nga yaluyingira nga wakulubeeramu, kubanga bangi abaluvuddemu abaalulimu, bangi abaalulimu ne baluvaamu, tebaali worth it. Ke katambi kentandikiddeko vidiyo eno kemulabye ebigambo by'omukulu Rubongoya ng'abyogera nti abo abataali mu lutabaalo baaluvaamu. Kati gwe Munnayuganda ali atuwulira, bw'oba okyalulimu ng'alutandika, nkwegayiridde tulubeeremu era tulwane tuwangule, kubanga ebbanga eddene lye tututte nga tulwana ate olwaleero wano nga tunaatera okuwangula tekiba kirungi kubeera nga tuggwamu amaanyi. Kamba twale mu katambi kano tubeeko kye tulondamu mu bigambo bino mu lulimi Olunyanyimbe tuddiŋŋane. Baagala nnyo.
If you have leaders, see, African leaders, they will make promises during campaign period. When they get to office, when they get power, they will be start. If you ask them, they put you in prison. Ask them and they put you in prison. If you tell them, hey, if you remind them, you haven't fulfilled, they will spend 4 years. They will not fulfill one of their campaign promise. They will not fulfill one. I told you that these African leaders are very wicked. Man, if I go back to Africa, there are so many untarred roads. In my villages, in my towns, they are still like that. The way we saw it growing up is the way they are still. They are still in the same state up to today. No development after 40 years, 50 years. Go there, nothing. And these towns, villages, they have governors. They have local government chairmen. They have everything. Some of these states, they are oil producing states. Some have gas, some have everything. And yet, people are suffering. The kind of money these politicians steal. Do you know how Europeans live? Europeans are not greedy. They distribute wealth evenly. Everybody gets a portion of the national cake. That is why they pay children, they pay everybody, they distribute the wealth. How many countries practices social welfare system? How many countries you get social welfare in Africa? Upon the mineral resources we have in Africa, how many countries? Anybody know how the money from the sell the money that accrues from these mineral resources? Does anybody know where the money goes? Nobody. If you question them, they come and unalive you. You don't question them. And you don't ask. You don't ask questions. I told you when I began this, you don't ask questions. That's the order of the, look at African politics. It sucks. They control. You see, some politicians controls the judiciary. Controls, there is no rule of law. A court will pass a verdict and they don't even respect court's verdicts. What a country. Compromised judicial system where they bought all the, what's it called? The judges, the lawyers, everything can be bought. People, I told you guys there is no credible election in Africa. You think I'm joking? Even gubernatorial election is rigged. Most of the people you call governors did not win that election. It's who is more powerful, who has more godfather, who has more connection. Godfathers install their boys after their tenure is over. In fact, the way things are going in Africa, that was why I said yesterday, somebody came to talk about Europe. I said, don't go there. Somebody came to, you cannot compare Europe to Africa what? Africa, you are on your own. No government cares for you. These people are shameless. Politics is their business, and that business is take as much, steal as much as you can, and go to abroad and buy houses. Do you know how democracy works? In a country where they say it's a rotational presidency, you rotate presidents, this person will rule and this person will rule. What does that tell you? In a country where they say the South will rule 8 years, the North will rule 8 years, what does it tell you? Isn't that enough to tell you that the election is not credible? Because if the election is credible, a particular region can rule for, as far as that election is credible, anybody can become president. Anybody can become president where there is credible election. Now, how about the common man? I told you guys about godfatherism in Africa. How about the common man? You cannot become anybody. You cannot get any political post or position if you do not have contacts, if you don't know anybody. Some people are saying, go and build Africa. Go and build Africa how? Where corruption reigns. Corruption is the order of the day. Do you know? I told you guys, one day, one man said, I need to represent. I said, represent what? a country where if you have no contacts, if you have no godfather, anything can be done to you. A country where the poor are oppressed. A continent where the poor are oppressed. I told you, I said, look, listen to me. If you are living in Europe, sit tight. Some people come here let me tell you what listen now. You will not know how messed up Africa is until Africa happened to you. You will not know how messed up Africa is until Africa happens to you. You don't know what you are enjoying in the Western world. That was why I told you, I said, listen, heaven is here on earth. You see the Western world, that is heaven on earth. Africa is hell on earth. Now me they tell you. It's no joke. If you doubt me, I will give you reasons. That is why I'm here. I'm not telling you that because I've lived here, I've seen the difference. You may argue me, say blah, blah, blah. You do not have adequate infrastructures. You don't have adequate we are not talking about bribe. See, it is when you travel to Africa and something happened to you that reality will strike you on the face. It is when you are traveling, when you go to Africa, maybe you are traveling by road from one location to the other and you have an accident. That is when the reality of Africa will occur to you. If you have an accident, motor accident in Africa, no ambulance. No ambulance will convey you to hospital. I have seen several videos where accidents happened. No ambulance, people lay on the road struggling. Nobody came. You are on your own. I cried for Africa. Some were bleeding, some their hand went off, their legs. I cried for Africa. Passengers that survived were the ones, or passers-by were the ones helping them to bring them, put them by the roadside. No help came from anywhere. The leaders, the government, they don't care. You, an African, your government don't care about you. How do you expect other race, the Arabs, the Chinese, the Japanese, the Europeans to respect you? They see these things online. Men, I have never seen. Go to Africa, you will keep praying that nothing bad happens to you. This thing you are enjoying in Europe here, you don't know the value. Until something happened to you. It has been in like that since we were children. Since we were born, it hasn't changed. No improvements. Every year you see, different administrations, different leaders come and go. Nothing has changed. Come to Europe to tell you we don't value our own. We don't love ourselves. These leaders, these governors, these presidents, all of these leaders, they see these things, they don't care. They care only about their families. I do not know who is watching me. Have you not seen where motor accidents occurred in Africa? North Africa is different. See, You are on your own. Sometimes I ask myself, what is the duty of the government? What's the duty of these people you call leaders because they were not voted in? What's their duty? What's their primary responsibility? To protect and to serve. That is why here they tell you, go back to your jungle as a black man. They deport you. Have you seen where they deported the Japanese? Have you seen anybody from North Korea outside, South Korea? When you see them in another country, they are on diplomatic mission. These are people who knows that you've got to build heaven on earth for your people in order for your people to be respected. See, this has nothing to do with age. You will not realize what I'm telling you until you carry that African passport and move. Carry your country's passport and make a move. Maybe you are still living in a country you've not traveled. If you travel with that your country's passport, that is when you will know that your country has no respect. What I'm saying is this. If you are living in Europe here, make sure you collect the passport. If it is European passport, if it is Canadian passport, if it is American passport, anything you can do, abide by the law, collect the passport. It will save your life. When we talk about savior, that passport you see there is a savior. That passport, you don't know, is a savior on its own. I know some religious people will come here and say, hey, that passport you see there is a savior. In Lagos State, I saw a building burning in Lagos State. That a very beautiful building. People were screaming and calling God, crying and crying. No firefighters came. No firefighters came to extinguish the fire. I said, look at Africa. People were calling on God, calling, and I saw, maybe if I remember the area in Lagos, I will tell you. I saw the video. There is no God. There is no Allah that will descend from the sky and come and extinguish that fire. Man, here I tell you the reality of life. If you keep calling on God and Allah for 1,000 years, the fire will keep burning and the whole building will be raised, will burn to ashes. The whole building will be raised down. That is why I told you, ye are gods, you are masters of your destiny. The government is supposed to provide effective fire extinguishers, firefighters. I mean, they are supposed to have firefighting departments. That is firefighting departments. Whenever, that is what I call paradise on earth. Here in Austria, if there is fire outbreak, wherever in Austria, to tell you we are masters of our destiny. If there is fire outbreak anywhere, it will not take the fire service 5 minutes to be there. Here, this is there. You don't see Europeans calling on God. You see how backward Africans are. Man, I want to just start talking now. If there is fire, you don't see people call Allah or God or Muhammad or Jesus or anybody. You place a call. to fire service departments. They put on their siren. They come with about 3 trucks with ambulance and police. Under 5 minutes, you see them climb the building. You see action. They will not go. There was one time when I was living in 12 districts. That is an apartment caught fire. That apartment was like in the 12th floor. Man, that was the day I respect firefighters and I respect Austria. If you see how they combated that fire, if you see they did not go, hours they were still there. If you see risk they took to extinguish the men, everybody watched. Men, forget, I remove cap for Europeans. 2-3 hours they were fighting, they made sure after people were clapping for them. Everybody. They came prepared, made sure that fire was extinguished. Only that fire. In Africa, fire will break out. And the people, the government will be helpless. Ordinary fire service, you don't have. And you are praying to God to help you. How can God help you if you refuse to help yourself? How? This is why one time I made a video. I said, look, investing in Africa is risky. Investing in Africa is risky. Look at my age. I am approaching 60 years. If I should take all I've got to go invest in Africa, let's say build a company. Listen to me attentively. Build a hotel. Maybe manage to build a bungalow where I'm going to live. If that my building, hotel or company catch fire, what do I do? Which fire service department am I going to call? You don't understand the reality of Africa. You can be a billionaire today, wake up a poor man tomorrow in Africa. You can be a millionaire today in Africa, wake up tomorrow as a poor man, as a homeless person. Listen, I'm here to open your eyes. See, when things happen to others, learn from it. A wise man learns from other people's mistakes and experiences. A fool learns from his own mistake. A fool learns from his own mistake. And if it may take, that mistake might even take your life. Or cancel you for life. Why I'm telling you this is, one time I saw in Africa, I don't mention countries, somebody's private hotel, like 5-story building hotel, caught fire. People watched fire consume the entire building, raise down the entire building. Firefighters did not come. Somebody's had, imagine if that man had lived in abroad all his life and went to his home country to go invest, and his hotel caught fire. This is not prayer. Say you pray not for such. It might happen to anybody. This is why I'm telling you. Why when the fire broke out, where was God to come extinguish the fire? African people think. That is why I tell you, ye are gods. You are a god on your own. You are a god because if you make use of your brain, you will provide, you make sure you have effective fire service departments that will be combat ready. You have every state, every town. See marketplaces get burnt in Africa. Fire service department does not show up. There was a time, that was many years ago, what's the airline that crashed in Nigeria? Either, I forgot the name, Diana or whatever airline, I forgot. an airline that crashed some years in Nigeria. Let me change the battery. See, I saw that airline crashed. It seems that airplane fell on top of people's building. Guess what? I saw Nigerians going to carry buckets of water, going to the gutter to carry buckets to pour on the airplane. I wept for my people. There were people inside that plane that would have been saved, but no firefighters, no rescue workers, nothing. People were calling on God. I thought no God is coming. See, who is a savior? You are a savior. You can be a savior to your neighbor, a savior to other humans. There is no savior coming to save you. Stop dreaming. My ancestors lived and died. No savior came to save them. You can be a savior to anybody. Don't think somebody is a savior. You are also a savior to somebody. Let me tell you.